Hello, welcome to the West Ham Way YouTube. Myself, Mark Carlaw, Mr. Riley Finch. Mate, we've got a big game coming up Monday night, Bournemouth at home. It's a big game, really, considering the fact we've just come off the back of a loss to Liverpool, which we'll talk about in a minute. Before we do, mate, how are you feeling going in? You feeling quite confident? Do you think we're going to get the result?
I don't know. Bournemouth are a bit of a weird side under Gary O'Neill. I always call it the caretaker's curse. You know, it was when a club sort of comes in and he's playing like absolute dog shit. And then all of a sudden, the caretaker manager takes over, and they just, I don't know if it's because they're showing up for the new manager or, if it's just a coincidence. But, we saw it with the West Brom manager years ago. Obviously, Solskjaer at United, Ferguson at Everton, and now O'Neill at Bournemouth. It's strange. I never like playing a team that's got a caretaker manager in charge because you just never know what's going on. And Bournemouth looked terrible before he came in. And I think they've lost... he took over 6 games, 11 games in. I think they've only lost like 1 game in their last 5.
Yeah, they're in a good run, actually. Yeah.
They're in a really good run. And I mean, prior to the season, you would have said that's a guaranteed 3 points. But I don't think there is any guaranteed 3 points anymore this season. I think every single team on its day looks like it can cause some serious damage. And you're going to hate me for it, mate. But as much as I think we probably win, not trying to spoil the rest of the video, there is a little voice in the back of my head saying that this is not going to be as easy as people think.
I'm in agreement with you. I mean, Bournemouth, I've turned a corner, you'd say, under O'Neill. He's a former West Ham man. We know him well, and he's doing a good job there. He is doing really well, and they're above us, I believe. I think they're a point ahead of us at the moment in the league. It's a big game for us. I mean, ultimately, look. I mean, even though they're playing well, these are the games we've just got to be winning. If we're going to be considered a top 7, top 6 side of the season, we just cannot be affording to lose or draw at home to Bournemouth. We just can't, and that's no disrespect to Bournemouth. But I think you're right. It's going to be a hard game, but I expect us to get the job done. To be honest. I want to talk about the Liverpool game as well before we go into more sort of what we think is going to happen on Monday night. It's I don't know about you, mate. I'm really still scratching my head as to how we didn't get anything from that match. I thought first half, typically slow from West Ham. We seem to always struggle to get going. But I thought once we did, especially in the second half, we were by far the better team. And, while we're recording this, we've just seen, I don't know if it's finished, mate, but I've just seen Liverpool. Have they lost to Forest?
I'm pretty sure they have just lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest, yeah.
Oh, so I mean that just does my head in as well. I mean, because I thought Liverpool were really poor. I've been watching it before this recording, and I just honestly I can't believe we lost to them. And I know it's a thing to say because you think it was Liverpool at home, but I thought they were there for the taking. And it's a bit alarming, really, because it feels like we're lacking a bit of potency in front of goal. I don't know if you feel that, but I mean, looking at that game and also back on Southampton, another game I think we should have gone and won. Again, we just don't seem ruthless enough in front of goal, and that we've got to sort that out because we can't just keep missing chance after chance after chance in every game and then sort of going, oh, well, not to worry, move on to the next one because we're dropping points left, right and centre at the moment, and I think, personally. And, if we're going to start playing catch-up, we've just got to start taking our chances, mate, haven't we? Got to.
Yeah, I mean, what more do you want from a penalty that it's a bit contentious. I'm not even sure it was really a penalty, but we got the rub of the green. We got the penalty.
You didn't think it was?
I mean, I don't know. I think Gomez was a bit out of control. And then sort of Bowen stepped to create. It's definitely more a penalty than not. But I've seen them, they're 50-50. I've seen them not given. So I was kind of surprised, especially at Anfield, that it was given.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But we talked about our penalty taker, and we all kind of decided that it might be Bowen or Scamacca. And I think after years of having Noble slot penalties away for us, I think it's only right that we just are absolutely shit at penalties now. We kind of deserve it. I just don't. I mean, 2 penalties in the Premier League this season?
It's ridiculous, and both poor penalties as well. I mean, I don't mind if they're saved well, but the fact that Bowen's penalty was shockingly bad. I mean, really, like the perfect place for a goalkeeper, and he literally was showing him where he was hitting the ball. The only thing I just don't get with why didn't he just do the same as he did before the other week against Fulham? Why didn't he just smash it down the middle? Like, it works for him. I don't know why we keep mixing it up. Like, just stick to something that works. That's my feeling anyway. Yeah, really frustrating. And what was bloody annoying about it as well is like the most perfect time of the game to score, right on half time. It would have sent us in with our towels up. And let's be honest, mate. And looking now at our second half performance, if we'd have been 1-0, we could have gone and won that game. And it's so frustrating. And then we've walked away with nothing yet again. And it's really frustrating. I think we've just got to put that right against Bournemouth, mate. This is a big game for us. We've got to get the 3 points. We've got to get it done. And also we've got Man United, haven't we? After that, so that's not going to be easy.
Our conversion rate's not very good, and Scamacca, I think, did go missing that game. He didn't really get the service he wanted, and obviously was up against two really good centre backs. Liverpool did have their chances as well, though. I think Firmino came close to a couple of occasions. Nunes hit the post. I mean, the Nunes goal was just as easy as you like, wasn't it? It was way too easy. We couldn't really deal with Liverpool's sort of high press. We couldn't deal with them pushing their fullbacks up as high as they did, almost sort of City-esque. And I think we also struggled to play up against two sort of strikers when both our centre backs are just not really at it at the moment, unfortunately. They're not playing as well as they could do.
Well, I think we were talking about injuries in a set, but I think that's one thing that's apparent. You can see that we're struggling a little bit. I mean, obviously we had Zuma back in, who's just recovered from an illness, which doesn't help. And I think it was quite quite serious in regards to how ill he was. I think, from what I'd heard, he was bedbound for a little while. So the fact that we threw him straight back in probably didn't really help. I don't think we had much of a choice, but I think that was quite telling. But I didn't actually think we played that badly. I thought we played all right. I mean, all right, first half, I would say Liverpool did edge it. They had their chances. And like you say, I think we struggled to cope with their press. But I thought the second half, we really came into our own. And I thought we were going to get something out of that game. I mean, that chance at the end with Souček, I mean, it wasn't his fault, to be fair to him. He has hit it on target. It was just a very good tackle. I think it was Robertson, if I remember rightly.
It's actually James Milner, mate.
Oh, was it Milner? Was it? Oh, God.
Comes off the bench.
To be fair, it was a good block from him. He got stuck. It's one of those things you have to take it. But yeah, I thought we were very unlucky. Going into this though, mate, I think we've got some good news in terms of injuries. It looks like Dawson will be available, which will be a big lift for everybody. I believe Paqueta is sort of 50-50. I think he is available effectively, but it's whether Moyes wants to risk him. He's just recovering obviously from injury. So I think we've got some, and also Max Cornet, I think, possibly going to be in the squad as well. So I think it looks like we've got a full team really to go into this match effectively. So I mean, you'd think, wouldn't you, that Bournemouth at home, with the players that we've got available and pretty much 99% fit squad, you'd expect us to get the job done, wouldn't you?
Maybe. I don't know. It's a weird one. One thing I did want to highlight as well is that Flynn Downs finally got his first start in the Premier League, which was amazing. Apart from the fact that Souček was somehow still playing. Obviously, I don't want to go in on Souček at all, but I mean, he's played every single minute of Premier League football this season. And for someone that sort of poor in form, it's a strange one. I mean, you go to Anfield with essentially three defensive midfielders in the midfield. You're going to lose that battle every single day of the week. And then we have Fornals as well at left wing, who is not going to be a good enough attacking outlet. And you think, Trent Alexander-Arnold he's not exactly in his greatest form. You want someone to be driving at him, aggressive, put him on his back foot. Fornals is not that type of player. So
I agree with the selection. I mean, it seems to be the old Moyes loyalty again. And obviously this, whatever it is with Ben Rama, we never really will ever get to the bottom of what the reason is, because I actually thought he was quite effective and he has been. I know he's had some games we've picked out and criticised slightly in terms of not, because he can be inconsistent. I get that. But you're right. I mean, the fact that Liverpool are quite vulnerable at the moment, and we've just seen that against Forest, they look quite mentally fragile. You just think, these are games you've got to really go for it. I don't know why we sort of take so long to get going, and as you say, like why pick a lineup that's so defensive minded? I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it, because we Liverpool going into the game against West Ham had come off the back of a victory over Man City.
They only scored one goal. Like, they weren't that potent in that game. They weren't that dangerous.
No, they did score 7-7 against Rangers, didn't they? Like a few days prior to that.
Yeah,
so I can kind of get why he was probably wary, thinking we're going to, but. It's so frustrating because it's just another loss to another big side away from home, which we never seem to be able to do under David Moyes. I don't really know why. I just think maybe we're just going in, giving them too much respect. We're too defensive minded, when really we should be going there, acting, mixing it with them, like where your level we can compete. I just think sometimes we lack that belief,
Well, I think the other problem is that teams give us a little bit too much respect sometimes, and we don't really capitalise on that. When we used to play under David Moyes, we used to be the underdogs. Teams used to be at us, and that led us open to the counter-attack and for us to be aggressive and push on every single game. Now it seems like teams are giving us the ball and letting us decide what to do, and we've got no fucking clue what to do, mate. So, our best football has been played on the counter-attack, and now that we're having to adopt to this kind of, we have to churn and craft out our own chances, and then, we're going to have to deal with teams camping in their own box against us, we're really struggling.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult one, and I think that is part of the reason why we've struggled so much under David Moyes this season, is that we've had to adopt to teams basically giving us a little bit more respect. Teams see West Ham and they know that they're going to be potent on the counter attack. They know that they can be dangerous, and in turn we're giving teams too much respect as well. So it ends up with us sitting behind the ball and then allowing them to regroup, and then us having to kind of it's almost like a chess match, and we're not very good at that. Going into the Bournemouth game, I think probably just a normal team. It's probably the same team we name every single week, mate, but it's not the team that's going to play.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, actually. The Flynn Down situation is going to be the one that I'm quite curious about, because Moyes, again, gave special mention to him after the Liverpool game and said he played very well and one of the best players on the pitch. Obviously, Rice was incredibly good again.
I guess that's why he subbed him off before Souček, then, eh?
Yeah, mate. I mean, but I actually, I would say, I think Downs is starting to get into the manager's thoughts now. So I think, for as far as I'm concerned, I think Souček's position in the moment is at risk, big time. But it's interesting. Yeah, he is loyal, isn't he, Moyes? And we kind of know what's going to happen. But thinking about the Bournemouth game, I think we've got some key players back, which is going to be a big lift. It's under the floodlights, which I think serves us quite well, to be honest. We always do quite well. Although looking at our record against Bournemouth, it isn't brilliant. I think they've beaten us more times. I think they've got 5 wins out of the last 10 Premier League games.
Well, to be fair, I think that was the Callum Wilson effect.
Yes,
I think
it was,
since they've lost him, they haven't been as good against us.
Yeah, true. Well, it'd be interesting. I mean, I've got to put you on the spot, mate. What are you thinking? What's your prediction for this one?
2-1 West Ham, mate.
2-1, yeah. Okay.
Never backing us to keep a clean sheet, and I think that Bournemouth will just set up to make it hard for us, and we'll hope that Philip Billing arrives late in the box so they can chuck a ball into Solanke. And I think we don't tend to deal well with big physical centre forwards the same way with Nunes. So I think they probably will nick a goal. I actually think they're going to score first, and then we're going to do what we normally do. We're going to turn up in the second half, turn it around, and I think 2-1 West Ham, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's one thing I'm getting very frustrated with, and I know we all are, is these slow starts. I don't know why that's the case this season. We just seem to be, I don't know whether there's an arrogance about us, but we just seem to think we're going to walk the game. I don't know what it is, but it seems like it always takes a goal from the opposition for us to then wake up and start playing. It's really frustrating, but I'd like to think that's not going to be the case actually on Monday. I've got a feeling it's going to be a good performance. I actually think it's going to be 2-0 to West Ham. To be honest, that's going to be my prediction. I think we'll be in for a decent performance, and we've had a decent enough break as well. We've got a bit of time to get some players back and really sort of prep for this one. So I'm quite confident about it, even though obviously the Liverpool result was frustrating.
It is, but I think we've definitely got enough in the tank to beat Bournemouth. I mean, they literally lost 1-0 to Leicester, I think, the other day, and they're not in very good form themselves. So, and 8 p.m. kickoff, sort of late night Monday under the lights. We tend to have a decent atmosphere, that sort of ground. Yeah. So, I reckon we'll get the job done, mate.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers.